What I want to do for this demo is kind of just report back information about the user's browser and their actions, and then update the styles on the site. And what I mean by that is a pretty basic, easy example. I have here copy and pasted a table already pre-written out. I'll save this so you can see what it looks like. And what I want to do is a nice practice problem kind of for us where report in the table the browser width, the browser height, and how far the user scrolled based on whatever the current status is of this. So let's go ahead and do that pretty easy with jQuery. We can do, to get the width, we can say, well, let's actually open this up. I added classes here to make it really easy to target. And I'm going to copy and paste the width one right now. And I'm going to say the text is equal to, and we'll do this. Window height is equal to window height. And now all we have to do is send the height. And you can see, or excuse me, we're doing width right now. So I kind of have this backwards width, and this is lowercase. All right, let's see if this works. JavaScript error, no. Okay, there we go. So you can see though, if I'm resizing, nothing's happening. Refresh, we get a Y number, go narrow, we get a low number. I want that to always update. And our answer for that are events, which you guys should be pros at by now. So on window resize, I'm going to call, that's just another event, but tied to the window object. I'm going to place it here instead. So I do that. And when I load the page now, refresh, nothing is there. But when I resize, I get the updated number. So how can I get it to resize on DOM ready and on resize? Or not resize on DOM ready, but place the number of the resize on DOM ready and window resize. Well, we could just create a function called place resize numbers, something kind of dumb. And I can move this here. And this is just one way to do it. If you're feeling really good about jQuery, go check out some different JavaScript patterns on how to organize and do things like this. But this example we're doing is going to work perfectly fine. So all I'm doing is calling a function on resize and on DOM ready. So now on page load, we get the width. On resize, we get the width. Let's update this with height too. And what we'll do, we'll say window width. This is actually height. This is going to be height. And then we have height here. So now it's already done. Hopefully if I update this, we're getting updated numbers, which is pretty cool to report back. All right, well, what about distance scrolled? Distance scrolled, I said put scroll position here. And what we're going to do is the same thing, but to get the scroll position, we're going to say the window scroll top. So var distance from top is equal to window scroll top. So I'm at the top of the page, 0. Scroll halfway down. Let's refresh and see what happens. Scroll back up, 551. Go to the bottom, refresh, a lot larger number. We're going to do the exact same thing for how we did this, which is going to be, instead of window resize, on window scroll function, place the number. We're getting the same problem, even though as cool as that is, we're getting the same problem from before. We'll create a function and then kind of wrap this up. So we'll say get or place scroll position, and we'll just copy and paste this over. We're going to call this function on DOM ready and on scroll, and I think we'll be done. Cool. Now, let's see how much time we have here. 5 minutes. I want to keep going and kind of do a little bit more of an exciting example because that is really the benefit of this. And what I want to do is create a class for the body called Turn the Lights Off. And what we'll do is let's pick a really dark background color. And we'll go background, something like this. And if you guys remember from earlier, we had a transition on the body already. So that's why it was taking forever to change. But now I have a class called Turn the Lights Off. And what I want to do is when I scroll past the article or when I get to content, I want to turn the lights off. Then when I come back up and it's right there, I want to turn the lights back on. And so it's going to go light, dark, light, dark. So how can we do that? Well, let's go over to our scroll here. And what we'll do is a nice little trick where we're going to say the article, which was the overall wrapper where everything starts. So the article offset the top. And let's actually call this offset variable. So the article offset the top and log it so we know what the heck that is and what that means. And you can kind of look into offset in the documentation, but all it does is gives the current position of the element. So if I refresh this and open up the console and scroll, we can kind of see that the article, the distance, regardless of scroll, is going to be 230 pixels here. So I think if I would delete this and then I would scroll a little bit, it should be a little bit smaller, and it is. It's the distance from here to the top. So we need to do math to calculate the distance scrolled with this, do a little subtraction, and so we can say distance scrolled again, and we're just kind of repeating. We could refactor this later, is that. And so we can say the true time to, or article distance from top is equal to the offset minus the distance scrolled. And as you can Google search stuff like this too, it makes it a lot faster, but I want to get you the idea of what we're doing and how you can do this. So now as I scroll, we calculated this math. When it gets to 0, we know we're at the top. So I can do a nice little statement here that says, if the article distance from top is less than or equal to 0, I want to add a class called Turn the Lights Off. Otherwise, if it's not, I want to remove the class Turn the Lights Off. And so let's see if we did this right. Scrolling. I hit 0, turn the lights off. Our background got dark. I'm going to scroll up to the top here. Background gets light, dark, dark. And the only issue is the same issue here with scroll and resize. So let's just throw this in a function and say lights off logic. And that's kind of a bad name, but works for us. We are going to now call that on scroll and on DOM ready. So now if I load the page and I'm down here, it's automatically going to turn the lights off regardless if I scrolled yet. So neat little trick. And that kind of got a little bit longer than I actually anticipated, but I'm glad I showed you all that because this is how you create interactive experiences. And the more things you do like this, the better you're going to get.